Hi, people. How are we doing? I'm so sorry I'm late. Yeah, the dogs normally go out for their final pee at 9 o'clock. And I was kind of ran about as per usual at the last minute, and Sandy was like, "Have the dogs been out for the final pee?" And I was like, "Shit, no." So I'll run through and say to everybody, and then I will quickly take them out. And of course, I told you 5 minutes, and I'm 10 minutes late. So double apologies. How are we all? Is everybody doing okay? It's so nice to be here and to see you all. It's been a wee while since I've been on live. I think it's been a while since I've been on live myself, certainly. But I'm excited to be here. It's been a wee while since we've done a sip and sling. And I thought I've been wanting to do this spread for quite a while, to be honest with you. I'm just assuming you can all hear me okay, by the way. I blooming well hope you can. I've not got the YouTube chat popped out. I'm totally unprepared, so unprofessional. I'm going to click on the thingy now, and it's going to no doubt blast through the speakers. So excuse that if that happens. Where are we? Let me pop out the chat. Got you on the right hand side anyway, but still. Let's pause. I don't want to listen to my own irritating voice. Pop out chat. Let's get it to live chat. Gosh, there's quite a fair bit of chat already. Right, let me go and say hi to everybody that's here. And I'm just looking at the bottom. I'm assuming that if there was a problem with my volume, you would have told me. So I'm going to proceed on the basis that everything's fine. So Chris is here. Chris was first in. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Chris is in Australia. So Chris, you're 11 hours ahead of me, aren't you? So can't always catch me live, but it's great that you're here. I appreciate you being here. Deanne is here, stopping in to say hi. We'll be back around 4:15, which for us is 9:15, which, I mean, is 2 minutes away, to be fair. So that's what we've been doing. We've just been killing time until Deanne got here. Golden's here. Hi, Golden. Jonathan's here. And Scott. Hi, Scott. See, Jonathan is stripping the magnets off the fridge because it's dead. I'm stripping the magnets off the fridge because it's dead, like the fridge magnets. Fair enough. We've got an integrated fridge freezer, so like the doors are like cupboard doors, so it's not magnetic, so we don't have fridge magnets. Lovely Jen's here. Hi, Jen. How you doing? I saw pictures that you put up, Jen, of you guys on holiday. I saw them this morning. I don't know if you maybe posted them yesterday or something, but you're all looking great. The lovely Donna's here. Thank you, Jonathan, for keeping everyone informed. Marita's here. Hi, Marita. How are you doing? Chevy's here. It's been a while since I could join. It's lovely to have you. And my dogs are barking. I might need to mute and threaten them in a second, but we'll see. Girls. Let's see if that works. It's the usual. Someone has the cheek to walk down the main road outside, you know. Right, let's see. I was on Chevy's comments, so just looking for anyone. Oh, lovely Debbie from Aquarius Owls here as well. Hi, Debbie. And Oh, Chris and Jen are both from Australia, so they're exchanging information about where they are. I recognise that the puppers always pick the most inconvenient time to ask to go out. They've been out for the final pee, by the way. Sandy's extremely excited that he doesn't need to go out into the freezing cold because it is, I believe the technical term is fucking Baltic outside. So he's delighted that the girls have had their final pee and he doesn't need to go out in it because I am the best husband. I'm pausing to hear agreement from the other room, but I'm not hearing anything, so I can only assume that he's out of earshot and we can say whatever we want about him. Right. Let's see. Just got a job offer in Cairns, and baby, do I want to chase that Firefox to paradise again. You got the job offer. That is brilliant. I'm so happy for you. Oh, that's brilliant, Chris, because I know that you were really wanting it, so I'm excited for you. Oh, Luna's. Can I help you? Simon's here. Hi, Simon. How you doing? Roscoe's here as well. Hi, Roscoe. And Naomi. And Jumping Spider. John. It's John, isn't it? John, I believe it's John. If I've remembered wrongly, you can tell me. But John works with glass, makes beautiful things with glass, and it's really cool. Let's see. Oh, we can hear fine, right? That's good. That's good. Great to catch you live again and see everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry I've not been live in a while. There's lots and lots has happened since the last time that. Well, since the last time that I've been live by myself. I've just seen Chris's comment, looking very fresh and full of light. Thank you very much. I'm actually a complete and utter mess today because I've not washed my hair, but thanks. No, I got a haircut last weekend though, so I might be looking a little bit more neat and tidy than usual. Going to be lurking, says Jonathan, for a few, because stripping off magnets from our fridge because it's dead. We are waiting for the new fridge to come. That's fine. Donna says it's been cold and very windy all day today. Yeah, it's been miserable here too. I think we're due some snow, I believe. The lovely Kristen is here. Hi, Kristen. How are you? Yep, it's John. I know I do this to you every time, don't I? I'm like, is your name John? It's not as if it's a difficult name to remember either. Been very cold in London too. Yeah, she's a gorgeous girl, so she is. It's not very often that she graces us with her presence either, so we should count ourselves lucky. Oh, it's already snowed in Latvia. I didn't know you were in Latvia, Marita. We should be roasting hot here at this time of year, but I'm sitting in a dressing gown. Jen, I'm pretty sure you're always sitting in a dressing gown. Is that not true? You always feel the cold? Or am I making that up? Oh, he always says, think Storm Burke is coming. Jen, I'm down here in shorts, tradie socks, and an open flannelette. Oofed, Chris. Young Christopher. Teases, why don't you? The lovely Sandra's here as well. Hi, Sandra. Jen says it's bloody ridiculous, right, Chris? I'm pretty sure you remember. Thank you very much. The spread today is a 7-card spread. So, and I know I say this all the time, but my aim is to start the spread pretty early on. In fact, there's not really much to wait on. I do like to have a wee chit chat, a wee catch up first before we do the spread, but I'm conscious that it might take some time. So, like I say, I will start it early on. I'll maybe start it in 10 minutes at 9:30, and that should give us plenty of time to work our way through the spread. And yeah, so that we're not here till like midnight, So, but we'll see if that happens, because like I say, I always say that, and then lo and behold, 10 o'clock arrives and we've not started it yet. So let's see how we go. I'm trying to think if I've got anything to share with you, anything to update you on. Don't know. I am, for anyone who's local to me, anyone who's in Glasgow, I am reading cards tomorrow evening at the Glasgow Witchy Bazaar After Dark event. So I'll be doing that from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. And it's a fairly quieter event. Well, quieter in that there's less vendors. There's only 3 of us that will be reading cards. It's only a hand selection, a select few vendors. And it's more like a kind of a night out, get together type thing. There's going to be live music. There's going to be kind of a drinks and cocktails. It should be a nice wee night. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working at it, but I'm looking forward to being there as well, because I think it'll be pretty cool. And usually when I'm reading, it's a pub in Glasgow City Centre called the Haberdashery, and usually when you're reading, the readers are all downstairs. So we're kind of we're downstairs. We're away from the main event that's happening upstairs. So if I'm on a nosy around the stalls, I need to leave. I need to leave my table and go up and have a wander. Whereas tomorrow I'll be more or less in and amongst it, so that should be really good. Next weekend, I'm doing another reading event, and that'll be from 6 until 11 p.m. And that's at a student halls in the West End. So again, anyone who's local to Glasgow, it's like a masquerade themed night. So that reminds me, I need to get myself some sort of masquerade get up. So I'll be Amazoning that at some point, no doubt. Get myself a wee one of those mask things. Could maybe take my Legacy of the Divine, my Ciro Marchetti, because I feel like his decks are very masquerade themed. Might fit in really nicely. But we'll see. Anyway, that's a couple of things that I've got coming up. I've also got a christening. I'm a godfather at a christening on Saturday. I say godfather, so they are Filipino. So actually, my title is Ninong, which is Filipino for godfather. So that's an honour, and I'm looking forward to it. And it's actually my friend Errol, who I've talked about before. He's got a YouTube channel, and he goes live on YouTube and Twitch every day. He plays Lorcana, the same game as Sandy. So yeah, it's his daughter. I am looking to see what I got to. Chat's moving reasonably quickly today. Right. There's what Chris is wearing. I'm a very cold frog, Chris, but I should be happily roasting hot at this time of year. It's my time. It's my happy time normally. Marita's in Ohio, but my sister lives over there. Ah, another right. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, I've seen Tom from Early Rituals here. Hi, Tom. How you doing? So there's Zane from Tarot Token Witchery. Hey, Zane. It's nice to see you. Hope you're doing okay. That sounds like an amazing night to collect content, videos, and interviews. I never actually thought of that. I don't normally film when I'm at these things. I probably won't tomorrow because I've not organised anything. But yeah, it's something to think about. Thank you, Sandra. Chevy says one day I'll make it through for the Witchy Bazaar. Are you over in Edinburgh, Chevy? I have my Ethereal Visions deck to hand. What decks are you using? I will show you what deck I'm using in a couple of minutes. Let's see, I was confused for a second. Hi, Kristen, by the way. I've already said hi to you, haven't I? You popped in earlier. But why are you confused? What have I said to confuse you? That sounds like fun. I agree that a Chiro deck would be a great fit. Yeah. Golden says Pirate Chris. Oh, is it because there's more than one Chris? Is that maybe what Kristen's talking about? Kristen is using Tarot of the Huntress. Very nice. Is that a Rider-Waite-Smith style, Kristen, or is that something different? What kind of deck do I grab? I don't think it matters, Jonathan. In the show and Agatha All Along, they use it's a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but there's variations. Like there's some of the cards are different. If you've not seen it, by the way, check it out. I think it's the second last episode, or maybe it's the third last episode of Agatha All Along. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. But I probably can't stay the whole time, says Kristen. Right, okay. No worries. Twix Tarot's here. Lovely to see you. Naomi says, I cannot remember didn't remember the deck that I'm using, but it's got yellow backs with bats on. Is that Shadowlands? That one there. So it's more or less Rider-Waite-Smith. Episode 7, thank you. My sister just moved back to Glasgow, so I'll be able to take advantage soon. Oh, very good. Excellent. Did you say yes, you were in Edinburgh? Oh, Dundee. Let's see. Oh, dress up as a pirate. What, for a masquerade themed night? I was going to like wear like a shirt, black trousers, and get like a nice waistcoat with a nice tie, and one of the masks, one of the masquerade masks. I just grabbed randomly and ended up grabbing Starlight, the Blue Edition. I watched every episode as soon as it came out. I adored Agatha All Along, and episode 7 had me sobbing. Yeah, it was good. Right, shall we get going? So I'm going to be using my new absolute favourite deck to read with. It's the Astro Matrix Tarot. Let me show you. That's the box. It's very Rider-Waite Smith. With some cards have been changed up a bit. So that Phoenix that you see is from the Judgment cards. The Judgment card's obviously different, but most of them are pretty much Smith-Waite. So these are the backs. There is a QR code in the back, which might annoy some people. It doesn't bother me because it took me a while to work out there was a QR code. So, but when you scan it, it actually gives you a lot of information about that card. There is a little white book in with the deck, but when you scan this, it gives you so much more information. It's great. And I'll show you some of the... So you can see you've got the astrological decans here. You can see what I mean. That is very Smith-Waite. Page of Cups is a bit different. Page of Cups is a mermaid or a mer person. So you see what I mean? It's got beautiful cardstock. The cardstock is very much like I would liken it to the Everyday Enchantment, you know, that really soft matte. Kind of like what the Titan books decks, you know, the kind of a Nightmare Before Christmas deck and all of those decks. It's quite similar to that, but it riffle shuffles really well. And spreads out really nicely. Perfect deck. I should give you the heads up, by the way, I'll be reading with reversals. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I will be reading with reversals. You are welcome to not read with reversals. But I've actually, so it was kind of by accident, to be honest, that I discovered that I actually get really good reads when I read with reversals. I've talked before about how my Wiser deck that's got the decans on it, that's always had reversals in it because I use it for reading timing. And timing, it's a different style of reading and it's got to have reversals in it. That's part of the point. So when I'm reading at events, I'll have a couple of decks for the client to pick from. And then I'll also have my soul cards, my kind of a clarifier deck, or just the deck, whatever decks that I'm using. So I said and I'll have this as well in case I need to use it to read timing. I said, you know, pick a deck. And they went, they bypassed the decks that I kind of had set out and went, what about that one? Can I get rid of that one? So I was like, sure, why not? And naturally, there were a few reversals that came out, but I went with it and read reversals how I normally read reversals, and it was a fantastic reading. Just really good really good back and forth. It really resonated, like everything that was coming up really resonated with what they were saying. They were so thankful and so pleased with kind of everything that came across, and I think that it genuinely did actually really help them. So I decided, right, okay, well, there's maybe something to this. So when I got this, I thought, well, fuck it, I'm just going to shuffle reversals into it. I'm going to read with reversals and I'll see how we get on. And so far, it's been really good. Now, I'm aware that I say all that and then I might do this tonight and it might be an absolute disaster or nothing resonates with me. We shall see. But anyway, you know how I love to go off on a good tangent. I've thought about this deck. Is it really good? I really like it, Marita. So see what you think when I lay out the cards and have a wee look. I'm probably going to do a walkthrough of it at some point soon, although I'm aware that I keep saying I'm going to do these videos, I'm going to do a birthday haul, and I'm going to do this, that, the next thing. I will get it done at some point. But yeah, I'm sure there will be walkthroughs online anyway. I love that deck, but I had to get a replacement because my first deck had only the full QR code on the back of every card. Oh no. Oh dear, that's not good. Right. So I've got. So I should say as well, like, if anyone's seen me doing roundtable readings before, you know that I use soul cards, and I like to get the person to pull a soul card at the start. And it's just, it doesn't even need to be interpreted. The soul cards don't have set interpretations. It doesn't need to mean anything. I just kind of when I'm reading for people in person, I use it as something that they can focus on whilst they're shuffling. Just a wee picture they can look at, they can focus on, they can shuffle their cards to. They can have, they can think about the image that they see if they want. If it resonates with them, if it means something to them, then that's fine. We can have a chat about that. If not, it's no big deal. It's just something to bring their focus to. I think it just makes the shuffling, because surprising amount of people when you hand them a deck to shuffle, they're like, I've had to shuffle, and they're like, okay, there you go. And you're like, get it shuffled. Like, get in and amongst it. Like, get your stink all over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's how I've always had people, when I read for people, that's how I've always like people to shuffle. I know not everyone does, but yeah. Anyway, I'm off on another tangent. Sorry. Focus, Chris. Right, so anyway, the point is I'm going to pull a soul card for myself to focus on whilst I shuffle the tarot. Oh, that's quite nice. So she's looking quite cute. She's made herself all pretty with a wee flower there. Kind of looks as though she's having to like hold it as she walks along though. So is it one of those things where it's like, what's the expression? Like the aesthetic over the function. Do you know what I mean? Like, sure, it might look great, but is it really practical? So let's put that to the side. In terms of the spread, I don't think we need to have a particular question. If you do have a question that you want to ask, then by all means, what I will do just now, I will show you the spread. I will try and zoom in on it because I'm conscious that you can't see that. F11. There we go. I see a bit better now. So card 1 in the center, 2 down the bottom, 3 top left, 4 top right, 5 middle left, 6 middle right, and then 7 is the crossing card. We have 1 as the traveler or the querent. So this is basically tells us about us. The second card, what is missing? What is the reason for your quest? 3, the path behind, wounds suffered and lessons learned. 4, the path ahead, a space for growth and discovery. 5, the obstacles you'll face preceding. 6, windfall, some unexpected good fortune. And then 7, the destination, which can only be reached by overcoming everything which came before. So don't worry about it. You don't need to remember all that. Obviously, I'm going to go through it all card by card, position by position, and we will all pull our own cards for each position, and we'll chat about it. So I'm just going to do a wee shuffle. Oh, bye, Kristen. Most of the time I read reversals, but sometimes I don't. It depends on the deck, the spread, my mood. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. There's some decks that I don't. Oops. Do you have both decks there mixed, or is it just the lighting making it look like there are different colour backs? On the soul cards, I've got both. I've got soul cards 1 and soul cards 2, and they're mixed up. Yeah, they do. They get very self-conscious, don't they? Right. Right, what I'm going to do, so it's a 7 card spread. I'm going to spread these out and I'm going to pick 7 cards just now. But again, don't feel like you have to do this. I don't actually normally do this when we do these lives, but I just feel like a wee change. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I should probably zoom out a bit. Shove that off to the side. Right, okay, are we ready? So I will try to remember to put the positions in the chat. So position 1 goes in the center, and this is the traveler or the querent. So I've got the hangman reversed. So usually the hangman is talking about, taking a bit of time out, a bit of retreat, in order to gain new knowledge, see things from a different perspective, basically see a new solution, a new way forward. And in order to see that, we need to remove ourselves from the situation. Sometimes it can be about sacrificing something. You might hear the word sacrifice being associated with the hanged man. And it's that kind of it's in that same vein. It's basically like, whatever you're doing just now, you need to stop and take a pause. It might be that you need to kind of give something up or temporarily stop something. Hangman energy can often be really difficult. We hear about we think about Odin, who hung upside down from Yggdrasil for, I think it was a day, and sacrificed an eye to the underworld. He did that to gain new knowledge. He discovered the runes. He gained this new insight that he didn't have before. But in order to do that, he had to put himself through the ringer a bit. And that's kind of often what we're talking about with the hangman. The fact that it's reversed, well, the hangman's meant to be upside down. That's the point. But our guy is, because my card is reversed, our guy is actually the normal way up. So this maybe suggests that I'm resisting. I'm resisting, like, kind of putting myself through that sacrifice. There's something that I need to give up, or there's something that I just need to. I need to stop. I need to take a pause and gain perspective on things. And right now, I'm just kind of I'm not doing that when I need to, and that's probably stopping me from progressing. The funny thing is, usually the hanged man, you do halt your progress, but it's like a step back in order to move forward 2 steps. So this kind of, I think, makes me think of like someone who doesn't want to take that step back. No, I don't want to step back. I don't want to retreat. I don't want to kind of backtrack. I want to keep going. But because I want to keep going, I'm never going to make that progress that I would if I just gained that perspective, So that maybe suggests where I am just now. I didn't ask a particular question, so this is all just kind of a general advice for me, I guess. And this could apply to a few different situations. I'm sure as the spread goes on, it will become apparent what this is referring to. But what have you lovely people pulled? I've seen that my lovely Marion has popped in. There you are. Hello, it's lovely to see you. Oh, Jonathan's shuffling to get reversals for the reading. Look at that. I'm a bad influence on people. I love it. Okay, so Donna has got the Empress. Okay, so Donna, the Empress, what does that mean to you? I'm interested. If I pulled the Empress, then I would be thinking, right, this is about creativity. This is about creating things. For me, the Empress is about creative output. It's about birthing someone, and birthing is in inverted commas. Did I say someone? Something. Birthing something. It's about bringing something that was previously a concept and making a physical reality out of it. And, quite often the Empress is just all about the creation. She's about the nurturing in order to kind of, she nurtures things and brings things to fruition. That's Empress energy. It can also be about abundance. It can be telling you to kind of just relax and treat yourself. It will depend on the image that you see. It will depend on the context. It will depend on how you personally interpret that Empress. Shivy's using Children of Letha. Shivy's got the Three of Cups, so this is a time of celebration. So you're having a right good party. So go grab yourself a wee drink or a wee cup. I didn't say what I was drinking, did I? I've got a coffee here. It's one of these kind of a powder ones you just add water to. And it's a caramel macchiato flavoured coffee, and it's beautiful. And it's only 3 cents because I'm back on the diet and I lost 5 pounds last week. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I put a wee bit of oat milk in it as well. But yeah. So Shivy, it's a time of celebration. It's a time to enjoy the company of the people around about you. And this isn't about like what you can get out of people or what they can get out of you. This isn't about being productive. It's not. I mean, that might come as a secondary effect, but that is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is just to have a full heart and to enjoy yourself. Naomi's got strength, the confidence card. So that's all about kind of it can be about defeating your demons. Like when I say defeating your demons, I mean the particular demons that tell us that we're not good enough, or that we should just be quiet, or we should sit back and just take a back seat. Sort of like that voice in your head that says, no, you can't do this, or no, you're not good enough, or whatever. The strength card to me represents us overcoming that. So love that for you. Chris will be back later. Have fun, Chris, whatever you're up to. Jonathan has got the Page of Swords upright. It's a time to learn a new way of communicating. Okay, nice. King of Pentacles for Debbie. Debbie's keeping an eye on her kingdom. She's making sure that all of her ducks are in a row. One is the Seven of Cups, which is my birth card, says Marita. So if the Seven of Cups is your birth card, then your birthday has been in the last 10 days, because that's the last day of Scorpio. So it is, and the Seven of Cups is the last decan in Scorpio. So have you just had a birthday, Marita? And the Seven of Cups to me tells me that you are in a place where you are imagining the possibilities. You're letting your imagination just feeds your inspiration. Basically, you're thinking about all of the possibilities, all of the kind of choices that you've got. Sometimes it can be a wee bit overwhelming if you let it get to that place, but you don't necessarily need to. It's about fantasizing all of the kind of what could come of things, and like I say, imagining all the potential outcomes. It's funny, like the Six of Cups is like the nostalgia, it's like the looking back card, and I think the Seven of Cups is the flip to that, is the looking forwards card, which is quite nice. Six of Wands for golden, so triumph, victory, feeling pretty good about yourself, feeling pretty on top of the world, would be what that would suggest. And for Spirit Wing, hi Spirit Wing, by the way, I don't think I've said hi to you. The Nine of Cups, so the table's set. Depending on your Nine of Cups card, some of them sit with their arms crossed. Oh, that wasn't picking me up there. Some of them sit with their arms crossed, like very kind of a closed off. So the table's set behind you, like all of this emotional fulfillment. But there's just sometimes there's just that thing in a Nine of Cups that suggests that there's a bit of a barrier. And maybe that's just the, we're getting to the 10, but we're not quite there yet. But think about any barriers that might be being put in place, and how you can, get past those barriers. The Wheel for Zane. So the Wheel of Fortune. So things on the up, maybe a wee turn for the better. Change is basically what we're looking at with the wheel. It's fun. I was thinking about this the other day. So there's more than three, but there's three big change cards in the major arcana. So you've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Death card, and the Tower card. And then think about, they're all followed by, well, I suppose apart from the Tower, but they're followed by cards that kind of are almost like just calm that change. So the Wheel of Fortune is like good luck, good fortune. It's chaos. It's like, chance. It's like, things are happening and there's just no control in it. And then next to that, normally you get justice, which is, everything in its place. Everything is in balance. Everything follows the rules. So it's almost like you've had your Wheel of Fortune moment, but calm the fuck down. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's balance everything out. The Death card is, again, that's change, but it's like transformation. It's sudden, unexpected change. I say unexpected, it's change, it's inevitable change. It's change that comes to us all, but nonetheless, it can be quite shocking. And then after that, balancing out what can maybe be quite a shock is the Temperance. So Temperance is very controlled. She's very kind of a, in fact, I think it's he, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Temperance is very kind of in control of themselves, very proper. They're usually balancing with one foot in the water, one foot out. The water's being poured very carefully from cup to cup. We normally associate it with like alchemy, bringing together different elements. So it's a kind of a very balanced response to the change the Death card brings. And then the Tower is just fucking wham, out of nowhere, this is happening. You never expected it. You never saw it coming. You probably didn't deserve it. Although maybe when you look back, you've been kind of building up to it and just not realised. And then the Star is like the hope that comes after that catastrophic Tower. And the Star, there's no kind of very prim and proper and controlled. The Star is tits out, like what's that TikTok, heads up, tits up, let's fuck it up. Like the water, there's no careful, it's like carefree, it's been poured everywhere, like we're free, we're really just giving ourselves over to the universe. So all of that is to say, I'm sorry, Zane, I went off on a tangent again. The Wheel of Fortune. So hopefully change for the better, but it does suggest change. A place of change is where you are. But yeah, that's it. So with Wheel of Fortune, it's very chaotic. You know, there's certain things that we can control in life, and there's certain things we can't control. And I think the key with undergoing a Wheel of Fortune moment is to control the controllables. So if it's a good change that's happening, then try and act in a way that, you know, that's going to help you further down the line. If it's a kind of a chaotic and a difficult change that you're going through in your Wheel of Fortune moment, then there will be things that you can control about the situation, and there will be things that you can't. And I think that your job is to focus on the things that are within your control. Don't try and control the things that are just, you know, that you've no chance with. Because that can just set you back, and that can take up a whole load of your energy that's not going to get you anywhere. Jonathan always used reversals. I've always used reversals. I just don't always do. Simon noticed. What did you notice, Simon? It's maybe about the tangents. Strength for me is I'm nearly at the finish line for one of my treatments. 2 more left to have. Right, okay. Well, that's positive. That's really good that you're coming to the end of one of your treatments. Well, I hope that it's positive. And well, 2 more to go. So yeah, we'll all be thinking about you and wishing you the best, Naomi. But strength is a nice card to have for that. Oh, Marion says 4 of Swords reverse just for you. Okay, so let's think about that. How would you interpret that, Marion? So the 4 of Swords is usually about retreat, about rest, about just kind of giving yourself a bit of calm reflection time. And if it's reversed, so reversals to me are like either you're blocking yourself within that, into that energy in order to avoid what comes next, or it's like an excess of that energy. So to me, if the 4 of Swords is reversed, it's like, right, your rest time was kind of over a wee bit ago. And it's like it's kind of like, see when you hit snooze in the morning because you know you need to get up and it's going to be absolutely freezing, and you know that you've not had coffee yet, and you know you just can't be arsed with the day that's to come. So you kind of keep hitting snooze on your phone, and just 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. That to me is what 4 of Swords is. 4 of Swords reversed is. Like, you've had your 8 hours, you've had your rest. You don't really need any more sleep. It is time to get up and face the day, but you're not quite there yet. So you're having a wee snooze button moment, Marion, which, you know, we all need to indulge and treat ourselves to every now and then. Creation, fertility, nurturing. My card looks quite powerful and in charge, pretty much the opposite of how I feel. Perhaps should have been reversed. Perhaps, or maybe you're just more powerful and in control than what you give yourself credit for. Maybe you're a wee bit dysmorphic about the situation, where, you know, probably someone seeing it, you know, from a different perspective, who, like, from a more objective perspective, maybe would actually be able to tell you about how inspirational and how amazing you've been despite all of the things that you've had to face, and what a powerful, badass motherfucking empress you actually are. And you're just not giving yourself enough credit for that. And I'm conscious that I keep using the F word, but I think YouTube can't really understand me, so I think we're all right. But if I do get cancelled at any point, then do let me know. Let's see. John's had to head out. Good to see everyone and nice to see you, Chris. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, John. 7 of Hearts on the chart. About your 7 of Cups. I'm conscious I should probably move on to the next card. Spirit Wing is using Pagan Otherworlds. Very nice. Right, Roscoe needs to go as well. I'll catch up on the spread another time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of yours, Roscoe. I know I say this all the time, but I could listen to you talk about cards for hours. Oh, thank you. Don't tempt me. I'll have to catch this later. All right, everyone's having to go. It's probably because I'm yapping on. Naomi, I'm so out of the loop these days. I had no idea. Sending you much love. Trying to change things in my life and to be a bit more victorious. Are you suggesting that I'm procrastinating, Christopher? Would I be brave enough to suggest such a thing? Would I really? Nearly right, okay. I think it's okay if you cuss out loud, just no typing the words. Okay. I've seen people who make a point in not swearing because they think that it's going to get their video, like, I don't know, like, blocked or cancelled, or I don't know. Anyway. Right, next position is going to go down here. So it's position 2. It's what is missing or the reason for your quest. Oh, and I've got the 2 of Cups. Right, let me put what is missing, reason for your quest. Okay, so what is missing for me? The 2 of Cups. So it suggests to me like it's like you're missing connection, a kind of a deep heart connection with something or someone. You know, if I was reading this about my career, this could be like you've kind of lost your love for it a bit. And do you know what I mean? It's like maybe at one point you loved what you did, but now it's like you've lost that and you're just doing it either for the sake of doing it, or you're doing it because you have to, or you're just doing it as like as a basically a means to an end, a way to make money. You've kind of lost your joy for it a wee bit. So maybe that's my quest. Maybe that's what I'm looking to get. So Spirit Wing has the Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is, their characteristic is often that they're quite slow. They're the slowest of the knights. They're very careful. Everything is, considered. As a knight, they do, there is still progress. They do still move, but it's like the tortoise versus the hare type thing, they're very methodical. But when it's reversed, that can sometimes be like, right, come on now. You don't need to have like a 10-point action plan in order to blow your nose. You don't need to have an hour-long presentation for every single thing that you do to justify it. Let's light a fire under that butt. So in the context of what we're talking about here, what is missing? What's the reason for your quest? So what could could that be the reason for your quest? Is it to light some fires under some butts? Is it to get things moving? Well, I'm interested in what you think. Let's see. Donna says my hubby watches football commentators on YouTube. If they don't get cancelled, then nobody should. Chris is back. Hi, Chris. So maybe feeling chaotic or ungrounded, potentially, yeah, absolutely. So if the Knight of Earth is upside down, then ungrounded could definitely be something there. The 8 of Wands for Naomi. So what is missing? What's the reason for your quest? So to me, the Eight of Wands is often about progression. It's about kind of we associate the Eight of Wands with movement, but I like to think that it's movement for a reason. It's movement that's coming from somewhere. So it's almost like you've kind of put all this work in, you've worked hard. In your case, you've kind of undergone your treatments and stuff. You've been kind of going through this process, and what you deserve now is some progress. You deserve to see some results and some forward movement. Potentially is what that could be. Three of Swords. For the first time in years, I'm not heartbroken. Okay. So I know the Three of Swords is the heartbreak card, right? But I don't like reading it that way. Hate reading it that way. The Three of Swords should be a card of the mind, not the heart. But here we are. Could it be a card maybe of mind over, like head over heart or heart over head? That kind of the battle of the head and the heart. Could it be like the swords are attacking the heart, your thoughts are attacking your feelings? Maybe those swords coming in are tough truths that get us where it hurts. So again, putting that into the context, what's missing, what's the reason for your quest? It could just be a quest for truth. It could be that you are giving yourself a hard time about something, and maybe you need to learn not to do that. Maybe you need to not be so self-critical and not expect so much from yourself to a point where you are kind of upsetting yourself or hurting your own feelings or whatever it might be. Maybe it's just about appreciating yourself. That self-care. Ten of Pentacles, a stable home for golden. Fires lit under. Fires lit under the butt doesn't resonate so much. So maybe what you said, maybe it is about kind of a feeling chaotic and ungrounded. So maybe it's just about finding that, like getting that kind of a grounded feeling back. Maybe it's the quest is to get that night back to the right way up, where it's like positive movement forward. It's kind of a thoughtful and considered movement. Oops. Queen of Cups for Marita. Okay, so this could well be to do with your spiritual side, Marita. You're thinking of the possibilities, you're looking at what could come of it, you're looking at what could be. And the quest is to become that Queen of Cups, to embody what it means to be the Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords for Donna. What do you think about that, Donna? Tony's here. Hi, Tony. Out with my sister. I'm just catching up with the comments. We're only on card 2, Tony, if you want to join in. Jonathan's got the Five of Swords reversed. So walk away from battles that can't be won. Yeah, exactly. Don't leave yourself, like, we all have defeats. We all have kind of a, we can't all win all the time. There will be times when we fail, or we feel like we fail, which is fine, and it's okay to sit in that for a bit, as long as we're learning from it. But don't stay in that place past the point where we're learning. Don't stay in a place of bitterness, or don't stay in a place of self-pity, or like kind of a just being hard on yourself for no reason. You need to move on from that place. when it's no longer serving. Shivy's got the Five of Swords as well, but upright, I'm assuming. I'm reminded of Dory. You can't never let anything happen to him, otherwise nothing will ever happen to him. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite cool. See you tomorrow evening. All this talk of emotions and self-care. Right, okay. See you later, Marion. It was lovely to see you. Always seen the Queen of Swords as my significator, so it seems I'm missing some aspect of myself. And again, it's maybe just that having that view of yourself as being that powerful Empress or that powerful Queen of Swords. Oh, right. Yeah, I thought the same thing, to be fair, Marion, when you said, I'll see you tomorrow evening. You were threatening me, was what you were saying. You weren't saying goodbye. Right. So, Chris, your first card was the Star. So now, Chris, I know you read you have your own way of reading. So feel free to, if you want to keep it to yourself, that's fine. But if you want to pop in a wee bit about what you're seeing, then you can do that as well. So the Star being you, the Traveller, the Queering, tells me that you're in a place of healing from some bullshit that's went down. So the card that comes before the Star in the Majors is the Tower, and that represents the big shake-up, the big kind of the Tower being blasted apart and things falling by the wayside. The Star represents the hope and the healing, that kind of the hope that lets us heal from that. It's that kind of a moment where we realize, actually, I'm not just going to be in this place forever. There's a place, there's a path for me to move on. There's still stuff for me to do, kind of a thing. There's still hope for me, that type of thing. The Death card, so the quest or what is missing. So maybe that suggests that so there's the change, and then there's the kind of the accepting that change and the transforming from it. The kind of embracing that. Death is the Scorpio card. There's one thing about Scorpios is that we're really adaptable. We're good at dealing with things changing. Don't get me wrong, we still feel the pain when things do, when big things do hit us, but we're good at kind of moving on to find some sort of new normal, is what I would say about Scorpios, and I think Death kind of maybe embodies that here. Eight of Cups for Tony and the Three of Wands. So the Traveller is your Eight of Cups, so that suggests that you're maybe looking for something that's missing. I'm having a bit of a brainwave memory saying that you fairly recently retired, Tony. Is that correct, or am I making that up? I could be making that up and getting you confused with someone else. So if I am, apologies. If you're half my age, if you're 20 years old or something, and I'm saying that you're retiring, then you have my sincerest apologies. But if not, and if you are, if I'm right, she's correct, right? So you've kind of finished one thing, you've walked away from it. Quite often with Eight of Cups cards, the cups are stacked in a way where it's like one's missing. It's like the guy's going out to find that cup. So it's like I've concluded that part. I've retired, I've finished that part of my life. Now I'm going to go out and find something that fulfills me, that fills that space. And then the Three of Wands. So, the Three of Wands is he's standing on a hilltop and he's watching what he's done, So he's the energy that he's put that energy out into the world, and he's watching those ships. Either he's watching them go out or he's watching them come back in to see what kind of what results he gets. So yeah, I would suggest that the connecting point between those two, what's in between those two is actually doing the thing, finding whatever the thing is and actually doing it. So maybe that's your quest. Marita's got to go. Bye, Marita. Chris will follow along now. Lovely. And spot on. Good. Okay, card 3 is going to go up here. And I've got the King of Cups reverse. So this is the path behind wounds suffered and lessons learned. So let me pop that in the chat. Path behind. Wounds suffered and lessons learned. King of Cups reverse. So, and the one thing, another thing that I like about this deck is so it has the elemental symbols for the courts, and the kings are all associated to the element of air. You've got water for your cups, but you've got air for your kings, which is how I tend to associate the kings. So when I think air and when I think of kings, I think of like kind of the management of a situation. I think of like overseeing. I think of managers. I think of like kind of rulers. And I think of like kind of gaining some kind of control over a situation. Now, the cups tend to be about our emotions, our emotional selves. We need to balance that carefully. So it's, of course, we need to be in control of our own emotions. And, King of Cups upright can normally indicate someone who's good at negotiating. He's a good kind of a diplomat, really good way kind of like relating to other people and can usually find solutions to difficult situations. The only problem is when he gets reversed, when he gets unbalanced, when we start to see the shadow side of the King of Cups, he can be quite manipulative. And he can sometimes toy with people's emotions and kind of just use them to suit himself. So that I would suggest is what's in my past, is maybe wounds suffered. So maybe I've suffered from someone who's been emotionally manipulative, or maybe just someone who's been a bit using, maybe a bit of a user. 9 of Wands, says Tony. So that totally makes sense for someone who's just retired. The 9 of Wands is like, you're coming to the end of that particular journey, that fiery, that passion, that I suppose career. You've got lots of experience and lots of lessons learned, but there's maybe also some, some wounds, you've got some bumps and bruises to show for it. But the key point is that you are at the culmination of that phase and you're moving on to something new. Let's see, 9 of Swords for Chevy. So 9 of Swords would suggest quite lots and lots of mental energy there, lots of thoughts. It can often be associated with like anxiety and some real kind of a mental, psychological, emotional difficulties. So basically, I guess what I'm saying in a nutshell is you've been through a lot. But let's go on with the spread and see how we move forward from that. Sorry, you actually commented on that, and I never even associate this card with my PTSD at the moment. Right, okay, well, there you go, right, PTSD, that would make sense. So it's nice to see it in the path behind, right? Okay, yeah, agreed. That can be, like, as much as it can be difficult to see difficult stuff showing up in the cards, when it's shown in the past, it's a it's a positive because, well, it can be quite validating, but also because it does show you that it's behind you, that you're moving away from it. Apart from me, who's apparently like stuck. I'm stuck in that situation. Three of Pentacles reversed for Jonathan. So lack of teamwork, thinking you found the perfect work situation, but it's not, and you feel undervalued or unappreciated. Right, okay. Judgment for Donna. Okay, so the path behind, there's been a big change, a big kind of a aha moment, a big eureka moment, a big realization, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You've kind of seen a situation for what it actually was, and it's allowed you to kind of move forward. And maybe now you're in the process of kind of doing that moving forward. It can be quite difficult, Judgment, because it's basically the time where we're called to acknowledge everything that's come before, acknowledge all of the good, but also all of the bullshit. And we deal with that, and then we move on. But again, like we were saying, like Shivy was saying, it's nice to see that kind of thing in the past, because it does show that we're moving on from that. Spirit Wing got the Nine of Swords as well. So anxiety, but it's still there. Yeah, and anxiety is one of those things that, like, I've got a lot of people really, really close to me that battle with anxiety, and there are times when it can be bad, and there are times when it's not so bad. And I suppose it's like how you manage it, and I suppose it's just about making sure that you're getting the help that you need, the medical help, and that you've got a good support system in place to help you manage that situation. So I'm sorry to hear that it is still there. I hope that if it's something particular that's causing it, that you can move past that, so that hopefully, the anxiety will be more manageable. Deanne's been listening and is going to try the spread tomorrow. Marion has the Page of Wands reversed. Marion, for me, the Page of Wands reversed, and again, you can tell me if you would interpret this differently, but Page of Wands is like the ideas person, loads of great ideas, very inspired. Like, they say every time they throw that wand up in the air, it represents a new idea and a new project. The issue is, the page needs night energy in order to do shit about those ideas, in order to take the action and make them into something. When we block ourselves in page energy, which is maybe what that reversal represents, we sometimes end up with a load of tasks a load of projects that we've started but we've not finished. So that maybe suggests a load of kind of projects that you've started but you've not quite got round to finishing them. The fact that it's in the past maybe means that you're kind of tying up all those loose ends now. You're getting yourself to a place where you feel more in control, and you are embracing some of that night energy and getting some of that stuff done. But that's how I would interpret the Page of Wands reversed. Oh, Tony says you have no idea. Is that about the having the the scars to prove it? The wounds and stuff to. What was the expression I used? I can't remember, but you know what I'm trying to say. Naomi says, the Hermit, this relates to how I move forward and learning to not react negatively to change. Yeah, but it can. So the third card, Naomi, was the path behind and the wounds suffered and lessons learned. So it could also be like there might have been a period where you felt quite isolated. But again, the fact that it's in the past suggests that you're moving away from that now, which is really good. You're not feeling like you're doing it alone. It's, you know, Four of Wands for golden. Four of Wands. That's kind of like the kind of the validation and the celebration card, isn't it? It's like it's like a sense of achievement. So where you're coming from, like the path behind, you've achieved something. There's something to celebrate there, so that's quite positive, I guess. Right on there, right? That's good. Good stuff. Chris has got the Five of Cups. So Five of Cups for me is the heartbreak card, as opposed to the Three of Swords. Five of Cups, fives are the unstable number. It's when the energy of the suit becomes chaotic, becomes unstable, and the cups are the more emotional suit. So the Five of Cups is feeling disappointed, it's feeling upset, it's feeling aggrieved. It's grief and bereavement and all that kind of thing. But again, this is in the past, this is behind you, this is what you're moving away from. So it's wounds that you've suffered, but it's stuff that you can learn from and that you're moving away from. Jen of many names. Golden, Four of Wands. I always seem to be moving and trying to find my way home. Every home ends up failing, right? Okay. Yeah. Bit of a long-term situation, but it's more or less okay. Right, okay, so as in your Nine of Swords. Spot on. I have a crazy to-do list, but I'm aiming to have things completed as much as possible by the end of the year. Cool. So if you need any help, then you know where I am. I take away with your directions 2 cups. Sorry, I take away with your directions 2 cups standing, 3 not the right, 5 of cups. Learn from those 3 who came against us. 2 the cool energy and the street. Right, good. And yeah, that's often the thing about the Five of Cups. It has those some cups knocked over, and it is some that are still standing, and quite often the ones that are still standing are behind the person. And it's like the way the image often hits, it's like the person is so upset over the cups that have been spilled that they're not seeing the cups that are still standing behind them. And quite often it can be an easy jump to say, oh, well, you need to kind of get over that situation, and you just need to turn around and see what's what you've still got going for you. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, but we need to remember that that person's going through something, they're going through a process, and sure, maybe eventually, yeah, the right thing for them to do will be to turn around and appreciate the stuff that they've still got in their life. But also, we need to process, and grief is one of those things that it takes its time. People will grieve in their own way, in their own time. And so who am I to turn around and say, oh, well, you just kind of need to turn around and appreciate those 2 cups that are still standing. I think that we need to kind of give ourselves the headspace and the time to process those 3 spilled cups. So that's just something that I would always say about the Five of Cups, is to just be gentle with yourself, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's a Hermit, remember who you are situation. 2 though. I suppose the Five of Cups, if you're reading with the Smith way, the Five of Cups does kind of resemble the Hermit, doesn't it? Right, card 4 is the path ahead, a space for growth and discovery. It's going up here. I've got the 4 of Wands, which is nice. So 4, path ahead, a space for growth. There we go. Okay, so 4 of Wands. So that to me suggests that the path ahead, there is celebration in the path ahead, there is validation, there's definitely some degree of success. The fact that it's a 4 would suggest to me that it's by no means the end game. It's not the end goal that we're achieving here. It's just, there's some kind of positive sign. And there's going to be some kind of validation that, you are on the right path. There is something here to celebrate, and by all means take the time to celebrate it, but don't forget that you're still on this journey. You're not even halfway there yet. So the next point after the 4 can often be quite difficult. That's when we see the challenges in the 5 of Wands, but the fact that the 4's upright suggests that we're raring to go and we're going to grab those challenges when they do come. So that's nice to see coming up. A lot of this could be about work for me, because I do feel that there have been a lot of there's been a lot of emotional turmoil in the past. I probably am in a lot of ways quite shut off, and I feel like I have been in the past. I feel as though lately I'm getting good at kind of turning that situation upside down and taking that perspective and finding a better way forward. I do feel as though, in a lot of ways I've lost my love for it. But again, I feel as though I'm gaining that back. I'm involved in stuff and I'm doing things just now that I haven't been involved in before and that I actually really, really enjoy. I'm involved in coaching and working with someone who's brilliant to work with. Yeah, it's the favourite thing about my job just now. But also I'm involved in a bunch of other things that are different, that are a new challenge, that stimulate me mentally, and that kind of keep me going. So anyway, Zane got the Knight of Water. Do I have coffee left? Sure do. Right, the Knight of Water for what's coming up ahead, a space for growth and discovery. So I often think of the Knight of Water or the Knight of Cups as like the quest knight. He's on a quest. Often it looks like an offer that's coming in as well, because it's someone coming up to you with a cup, just because of that kind of a emotional association that it has, I guess. How do you see that card then? The Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, so when I see aces reversed, when I see aces, I think of new opportunities, new potential. When I see them reversed, I think, right, we've not taken up that potential, or we've not taken that opportunity, either because it was missed or because we've consciously decided not to. Now, the Ace of Swords is a new perspective, a new understanding, a new idea. It's some sort of new mentality that, it lets us find a new way forward, basically. So if the ace is reversed, then that might suggest being stuck in old ways of thinking. So maybe, given that it's in the future position, that might suggest for you that there's some sort of situation that you're going to come up against where you need to really try and look at it in a new way. If the ace is reversed, it might suggest that you're kind of trying to do this thing in the same way that you always do, when actually it needs something fresh, it needs something new, it needs a fresh set of eyes, really. So yeah. As well, and again, it will depend on what deck you're using, but often when we see swords upright in the swords suit, this isn't exact science or anything, there'll be several cards that prove me wrong here, but quite often when we see swords upright, they are being used as they're representing ideas or thoughts or thinking about something, or just thoughts. They represent thinking, they represent the mind, they represent understanding in maybe a more positive way. When we see them revert, when we see the swords upside down, so in cards like the 10 of Swords, the 8, the 3, the 5, when we see these swords, often that's when they revert to the swords being more as weapons, more what a sword traditionally is, and they tend to be difficult cards. So when I see swords reversed, I do always have that in the back of my mind where it's like, right, this is, we're reverting from this being about the mind to this being about, the more painful situations. So how a lot of the reason that the sword suit is the difficult suit is because it's been when Arthur Edward Waite, was doing the deck, when Waite and Pixie were doing the deck, they took a lot of the the associations from playing cards, and obviously the swords relates to the suit of spades, and the spades is kind of in playing card reading, the spades is just the suit of bullshit. It's the difficult suit. It's the suit of nasty things. Do you know what I mean? So most of the spades cards in the playing card deck are difficult, nasty, hard to deal with situations, and that's why a lot of the swords cards can be like that. So you hear me moaning and saying, oh, the swords are supposed to be the suit of the mind, and that's why some of these cards are, that, and I guess because a sword is a weapon, it is intended to inflict pain. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget what the functionality of a sword is. Tangent. But anyway, all of that is to say, when a sword is reversed, things get difficult. It reverts from being that kind of a card of the mind to a card of, it's a weapon now. It's like it's been used to inflict pain, and yeah. Anyway, the Empress reversed. So where you're headed to is the Empress reversed. So when a 3 is reversed, when the Empress is reversed, 3s, whether it's the Empress or one of the 3s in the suit, to me is it's about expansion, it's about creation, it's about creativity. I said earlier on, I talked about the Empress being about, birthing something. It's about kind of bringing something into physical existence. So we see that echoed in the suits. The 3 of Wands is about getting the thing done, your passion project, right? It's time to get out there and do that. The 3 of Cups, you're enjoying yourself, you're spending time, you're building up those relationships, you're kind of active in the emotional way. Your 3 of Pentacles, you're getting your hands dirty, you're doing the work, you're collaborating, all that. When a 3 is reversed, for me, it suggests, so 3s are, the 3 is great in terms of its creative output, but there needs to come a point where we embrace that 4 energy, we embrace that stability, that Emperor, kind of bringing order to things. Otherwise, it's just it's absolute chaos, It's just creating things for the sake of creating things. You don't even know what purpose it serves, but you're just doing it for the sake of it. It's like things are being overrun. Think of an ecosystem. If one of the species is just reproducing at an unprecedented rate, it just takes over. There needs to be some sort of natural way of that, being kept under control and being brought into order. That's how an ecosystem survives. It's kind of so think about the Everglades and how Burmese pythons, people have been, I say that like it's still happening, but there's a big problem in the Everglades because people who had Burmese pythons as pets didn't want them anymore because they didn't want the responsibility, and there was a big issue with lots of people setting them free in the Everglades, the Florida Everglades, and because they're not a natural species, they don't have a natural, predator. They were breeding, they were overrunning the place. I think they were kind of as a result, killing off a lot of the native species in that place. So that's kind of like Empress Reverse to me. It's like going on and on and on, and always have in mind, like, right, what is the purpose of this? What purpose does this serve? Why am I doing this? If you don't know why you're doing it, then it's maybe time to take a bit of a step back and take a bit of a pause until you can just get a bit of perspective again, is what I would suggest with the Empress Reversed. Lovers for Naomi. It's looking quite promising, depending on your Lovers card. Sometimes it's about choice. Sometimes it's about that kind of a harmonious, that connection, and just kind of sometimes the Lovers is just like, all right, I'm feeling that kind of those feels again. I'm getting my mojo back a wee bit, Four of Cups upright. Don't let the defeats of the past blind me of the current opportunities being offered. Nice. The Three of Wands for Shivy. Yeah, the Nine of Swords are now coming up as the Three of Wands. So that's actually quite nice, because often the problem with the Nine of Swords is it's like overthinking to the absolute max. You trap yourself in your own mind, and as a result, it stops you from doing things. It stops you from getting yourself out there. Whereas to me, the Three of Wands is the getting yourself out there card. Like I just said, the threes are the kind of the actual physical presence of the suit. It's when you actually get involved and do something with the suit. Whereas the Ace and the Two are more like the kind of the potential and the planning. So the Three of Wands is like, right, we're moving to a place where we're feeling the passion again, the passion of the wands, and we're putting ourselves out there. We're doing the thing. We're doing something, maybe taking a bit of a risk, but we're doing something that puts us out there. Kristen's back, pulled some cards. You've got Death to start. You've got the Moon. You've got Justice as your third card, and you've got the Eight of Pentacles as your fourth. So we'll need to go and contemplate on these okie dokes. The Six of Wands reversed for Marion, so delayed celebrations and still got work ahead. I think all that is, Marion, so the Six of Wands is where it's a big celebration, it's victory. You are being celebrated. We all know about your project that you've got going on right now. We all know what a massive success it's been, and how much you deserve that. Sixes, when I was talking about the Lovers, there's a harmony to the six. So there's a kind of a back and forth to the number six. So for the Six of Wands, we see it as celebration and victory, but when you look, there's kind of both sides are benefiting, because the person who's doing the victory march, he's obviously being energized by the crowd, but the crowd are being energized by him. They're living vicariously through his success. They're benefiting from what he's done, in the same way that we're all benefiting from the beautiful thing that you've done, the beautiful project that you've created. So there is that. The fact that it's upside down, the fact that it's reversed, I don't think that it really takes away anything from that. It's maybe just a bit about, like, there is going to come a point where you need to move on and deal with the challenges that come in the Seven. To me, the challenges in the Seven of Wands, if we put it in the context of what we were talking about there, is this, I'm sorry to say this, the Karens, right? the scrutiny, it's the Karens, it's the comments, it's the, all of that kind of like when you create a product, you basically open yourself up to criticism from here, there, and everywhere. So the Six of Wands is just maybe about like enjoying, basking in the glory a wee bit before you're ready to deal with all that bullshit. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Judgment, Two of Swords. So a bit of decision making maybe coming up. A bit of decision making where, so I think if it's the swords, it's about the mind. So it's telling us we need to think about the problem. Often it's about taking the emotion out of it. So the Seven of Cups is it's choices, it's a decision card. But to me, the Seven of Cups is like, like I was saying, it's about imagining the possibilities. It's about fantasizing what could be. So that is very much connecting to the emotional self and making the choice that way. Whereas I think with the swords, particularly because a lot of Two of Swords, again, I'm referring to the Smith way, but not just that, you'll see a body of water in it, but it will be behind the person. So to me, that's like it's like taking the emotion out of the situation, look at the choices logically, or look at the situation logically, and make a choice based on like the pros and cons and all of that stuff. So maybe that's something that's coming up. Chariot for Golden. So Chariot, there's a bit of a victory mark coming up for you as well then, Golden. There's some success. So Four of Wands in the past, there's been that celebration, and then moving on to the Chariot coming up. So the Chariot represents you balancing the different things that are going on and really kind of channeling that Chariot energy to, drive things forward, I guess. Positive movement forward. You're very welcome. Oh, you've got the Chariot too, so positive movement forward coming for you as well. And like we see that the black and white sphinxes or the black and white horses, and those just represent, I suppose if you go into like the mythology of it and all that, then it's like the different parts of the soul. The white horse represents the, thinking of Plato's Chariot now, the white horse is like the noble part of ourselves that wants to do everything for the greater good, and that's the well-bred horse. Whereas the black horse is like the base self, the base desires. It's like the kind of the selfish part of ourselves, the part that wants to look after ourselves. And I mean, really, the key is to balance both. We need to look after ourselves, and we need to be, a good person in order to have a good, healthy soul, I think is what the message of the Chariot is. So that's the kind of to me, that's the mythology behind it. That's the deep part, but really putting that into the context of everyday life. I mean, yeah, it's about being a good person and making sure that you look after yourself, but balancing all of the different shit that we've got to balance, being like, all this adult and shit that we've got to do. Being able to balance all of that, all those different opposing forces, and have them going forward in the same way, so as that they don't rip the Chariot to shreds, so as that they do kind of drive it forward. So yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite promising. We love that for you. 3 major arcana, important spread for Spirit Wing and for Chris as well. Love your tangents. Thanks, It'd be good if there wasn't quite so many. It's hard, but being here is saving me from a foul mood. Oh, well, I'm really glad. I'm glad that I can create that space for you, Spirit Wing. That actually makes me really happy. So it does. I obviously do this because I enjoy it, because I love connecting with all of you guys. But it is nice to think that I can create a space that will create a positive space for someone else. So thank you for saying that. Just thinking about StarCon and you start talking about the Everglades, we're connected, Marion. We've got a connection. Makes sense to Tony. Good stuff. Lots of majors for Kristen. Rational decision making for that Two of Swords. Yeah. We are so glad Spirit Wing is here. Sorry for delayed hellos. Driving around to kid activities and errands. We'll tell Max and Vela that we said hi. And if the lovely Ryan is there, then tell him we said hi too. Tangents colour the teaching. Oh, I'm glad. Super useful and dynamic. You create a great space. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Shall we move on to card 5? So card 5 is going down here, and it represents obstacles that you'll face. Obstacles that you'll face, and look at that, I get strength reversed. So strength for me is about confidence. So when it's reversed, it means that I'm being, I'm overwhelmed. My confidence is not in a good place. So it makes total sense that my struggles with my self-confidence would be an obstacle to me. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So obstacles that you will face. Yeah. This is like, I could have predicted that. Predicted. And we're pulling tarot cards. Confidence is a thing that doesn't come easy to me, I'm afraid. And I know that it takes a certain kind of confidence to be able to kind of sit here and do this in front of you guys. I'm good at I'm reasonably okay at public speaking. Like, I can do presentations and stuff, and I don't get as nervous as what other people do. But when it comes to like belief in myself, I think sometimes I struggle a wee bit. And oftentimes it doesn't take a lot to kind of turn it around, and for someone to make me doubt myself, So yeah, this is it's something that I personally struggle with all the time. It's not just an obstacle that's to come. It is just an obstacle for me generally. But I suppose it's good to know that it's a relevant obstacle. It's going to be relevant and it's going to be prevalent in what is to come. And it makes sense. So Tony's got the Wheel of Fortune. So an obstacle that's to come is things changing for the unexpected. Talked about it earlier on. It's that chaos, it's that kind of there's no way to control it. You just kind of need to take the cards that you're dealt, and it's about how you react to the situation, how you move on from it. Remember to control the controllables. Remember to assess the situation, and if there's stuff that you don't have any control over, then you need to kind of almost accept that, and concentrate on the things that you can control. The one super positive card I get is an obstacle. It's the Empress. Right, okay. Okay, so how do you see that then? It's getting really windy here, says Naomi. Oh, thank you, Marion. Just looking outside to see if it's windy here, but it's pitch black outside. I can't see the trees. Oops. The Ace of Cups. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like this spread. It's an obstacle you're facing is the Ace of Cups. So some new cups energy coming into your life is the obstacle that you're going to face, Marion. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. The Ace of Cups is about being inspired and being fulfilled more often than not. So, like, I know lots of people read the Ace of Cups as like a, new love and new relationships, but to me, that's not. That's more comes in with the two. To me, the ace is like we need to love ourselves before we can love anyone else, or we need to respect ourselves before we respect anyone else. It all starts with ourselves, basically. So the ace, the kind of the energy at its kind of a closest and its basest is actually inward. It's towards ourselves. So when I see Ace of Cups, I think self-care. So maybe you're trying to do so much. You're really putting yourself through it. So maybe that's just saying to you, look, there's going to come a time where you need to address that, and you do need to look after yourself. Some self-care is going to be needed. Maybe perhaps that could be what it is. Chat jumped really fast there. Seven of Wands, so an obstacle, you're going at the Seven of Wands, right? Okay, so the Seven of Wands is, we see someone who is on one side, and then you've got all these other ones that are at the other. So it's like people are kind of coming at them, So quite often that will represent like the scrutiny of others, the criticism of others. Sevens are often about like kind of we're often tested in the seven. Seven is a card of like kind of a assessment of, we're coming out of our comfort zone, in the six I was talking about that harmony. So we talked about a lot of the numbers today, I know, but your fives, we were talking about instability, we were talking about the difficult kind of things associated with the suits. The six, that difficulty in the five harmonizes, and things kind of tend to right themselves in the six. The seven is where it's like, right, okay, we found that harmony, but we can't stay there forever. We need to push outside our comfort zone. We need to grow from that place, of stability. So quite often in the Wands suit, that Seven of Wands, it's like, right, we were victorious, people were celebrating us, we were happy with where we are, with where we were, but then we kind of go past that, and quite often that's represented by, people will have an opinion on what you're doing. People will be coming at you with their wands. People will be coming at you with their opinions and telling you what they think, and maybe criticising, maybe wanting to have a bit of a fight with you about something. There's disagreements there. But the thing to remember with the Seven of Wands, he's got the high ground, So, and when you look at how all of the wands are positioned, he's actually well poised to fend them off. So in the Seven of Wands, you are in a powerful position. As much as it might feel like everyone's coming at you, or it might feel that the odds are stacked against you a wee bit, you're actually in a really good position, so don't forget that. It's over Anakin, I've got the high ground, as a Star Wars reference for you. Seven of Wands as well. So Seven of Wands for Chevy as well. So maybe lots of us are coming up against these challenges, because I think we're marrying you the six reversed, and we kind of talked about the seven a wee bit in that, didn't we? But yeah, lots of sevens, lots of seven energy here. Let's see, the High Priestess. So your obstacle is to do with trust and your intuition, says Donna. Okay. obstacle is trusting yourself. Also like so if the high priestess is an obstacle, quite often the problem with the high priestess is she likes to sit there and say nothing. You know, it's like she. Do you know that? Do you know that way? So, like people kind of I'm going to be very gender stereotypical here and talk about gender stereotypes. You know that way the gender stereotypes, they say that like kind of like with guys, it's like they just like things to be called as they are. Just tell me it as it is. None of your subtext, none of your subtle hinting. Just tell me it as it is. And then they say that on the flip side, women like to be like kind of a mysterious and no, I'm not going to tell you what you did wrong. I want you to work it out for yourself, and then I want you to come and apologise. Or what's wrong with you? Oh no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just going to sit here with my face tripping me. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of a like sulky, it's that quiet, that kind of a mysterious energy with the high priestess that can sometimes be quite difficult. So that could be an obstacle that you're going to face. You're up against something or someone where the situation's very hard to read, and it's not giving you the information that you need. There's something that you know that you need to find out, and there's information there, but for whatever reason, it's not being conveyed. The information hasn't been given to you. Or maybe you like to be a wee bit high priestessy and you like to be a wee bit, no, I'm not telling you, I want you to work it out for yourself. And maybe that's something that you need to work on and you need to be more upfront. I don't know. But anyway, that's just trusting your intuition as well, definitely. But I think that's always something that I think about with the high priestess. It's that kind of a passive to the magician's active. Do you know what I mean? I need more coffee because my throat's getting a bit dry. Oh, it was the Ace of Cups reversed. I see. Right, okay. So if it's reversed, then it's ace is reversed from here, missed opportunities. It's an opportunity for something, but it's something that was passed by, whether intentionally or you just didn't see it for what it was. Cups upside down, somebody once said is tears. So that's something to think about. But yeah. Oh, Golden, you meant to comment for someone else. What comment is that? Not sure. I'm going to have to finish up later. I've got to get going. Yeah, sorry this is going on quite long, folks. It is a 7-card spread, and it's Agatha All Along, so we love it. But I appreciate that it is going on quite long. So if people need to drop off, then feel free. This will have to be my last card. Have to get up early for Bloods. King of Cups, learning to navigate life's challenges. Nice. Well, Naomi, if that's your way, then I hope you have a lovely sleep. Hope that you get on okay tomorrow with your Bloods, and have an amazing weekend. For Golden, it's the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands is an obstacle that you need to overcome. Interesting. It's funny because the Ace of Wands is obviously a very phallic image, so my mind's gone there, which isn't a great place for my mind to go. But if we be sensible, and and if I interpret the Ace of Wands, then I'm thinking about new opportunities, new kind of a passion project, something that you're newly inspired by. The only way I could see that as being an obstacle is because it might be a distraction, maybe. So I suppose it's finding a way to embrace new opportunities, but without letting them distract us from the stuff that we just need to do. Um, let's see. Going to listen to the last section. Cool. This spread is stressing me out. Why is it stressing you out, Chris? Oh, good stress. Good. This is the only channel I feel free to make comments and participate. Oh, well, I'm glad, again, I'm glad that you feel happy to comment and stuff and participate in, because I love having you here. I love having everyone here. So again, thank you so much. All your comments, I really appreciate. Maybe the Empress is about waiting for the right time. Speaking to you nicely, that's good. Usually just lurk. I'm glad you feel free to comment here. If you don't know, I'm not telling you. I've used that a few times over the years. No, I can't imagine you saying that at all, Marion. Right, I'm going to, because I'm just conscious of time. Remember, I'm the Queen of Swords. I don't play those kind of games. Yes, we females are an interesting creature indeed. Let's see. Chris through the Hermit's Cave, which is live tomorrow. I think Simon, unless he is going live tomorrow as a change, he's normally live on a Saturday, which would be not tomorrow but the next day, just so you know. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've missed something and he's doing a live tomorrow, I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, bye Naomi, take care. Distracted. Oh, you're laughing at the phallic reference, right? Okay. Okay, right, card 6, let's move on. So card 6 is Windfall, some unexpected good fortune, and it goes here. So you can see we're making a kind of like pentagram type shape. I've got the world reversed. First things first, let's pop that there. So Windfall, some unexpected good fortune. So just talking about the world card in and of itself, the world is about kind of achieving your goals. It's the ultimate culmination, it's the everything that you wanted, it's almost like you get it. The world is often the kind of it's those ultimate goals, those sometimes unreachable goals that we aim for, but we can almost never get. I think I was kind of going off on a tangent about this recently, where it's like a limit in maths, where you've got like a curve that never quite touches it. So the limit is like the world. It's like the ultimate kind of a goal. It's like the thing that it's tending to, but never quite touches. It's concepts like world peace, as long as there's people in the world who, as long as there's people with power and self-interest, which there is always going to be, there's never going to be world peace. It is something that we can move closer to. It's something we can work on. It's like the perfection that we can never quite get, but we all should be aiming for nonetheless. So that to me is what the world represents. When it's reversed, so usually when I see the world, I mean, because like Anna, when we're reading someone's cards, when we're reading our own cards, when we're doing a tarot reading, like, we need to put things in context. We need to talk about things in a way that they make sense to our lives. So when the world comes up, quite often it's just a sign to me. It's like you're exactly where you're supposed to be in the world. You're going to, perhaps if it comes up in the future, it's like, right, you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. You're going to do, the thing that you're aiming to do, you're going to do it. You're going to do amazing. It's probably going to be a lot better than even what you thought. You surpass yourself, that type of thing. If it's upside down, it's you can't make this negative. Do you know what I mean? The world to me can't be negative. What it might actually be, what it sometimes is. So I talked about how this is like you're exactly where you need to be. This could be like, right, you're going to get that achievement, but maybe it's like you need to change location. Maybe you need to be somewhere else. That perfect place is sitting waiting for you, but you need to go out and find it, type thing. So that's quite often how I read the world reversed. But as a windfall or some unexpected good fortune, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm traveling. Maybe there's some travel in my future that I don't know about. That would be nice. Just in saying, you talking about marrying Starcon. So that if I was going on that would be some travel, wouldn't it? Okay, Spirit Wing has to go soon. My next cards were the Six of Cups reversed and the Two of Cups. Okay, so Six of Cups reversed is your unexpected windfall. Unexpected good fortune. Okay. So, I mean, Six of Cups, we're looking to the past. We're looking for things so maybe some unexpected, good fortune. There's something coming back in from your past is the way that I would maybe interpret that. So whether that's a person or, something's coming back. And as it's a really kind of a positive spread position, it would suggest that whatever it is kind of a feels good. That's how I would maybe interpret that. Golden thought today was Friday. Nope, today's Thursday. It's my Friday because I don't work on Fridays, which is nice. The Emperor reversed for Tony. God, we're all getting like reversed cards. We're all getting like awkward cards for this position that's meant to be really good. Okay, so when the Emperor's reversed, gosh, I mean, I see the Emperor reversed as being the situation, like it's like an over-controlling, overbearing force, So the Emperor represents like kind of a bringing order to things, but when it's reversed, it can sometimes be quite, a bit too controlling. So I don't know how we interpret that as a windfall or some unexpected good fortune, though. Maybe it just is that aspect of control. Maybe it's a situation where there's something that does need a wee bit of order brought to it, and maybe that is kind of maybe that's coming in. Maybe that's all it means. I'm not sure. Interested in what you might think about that, Tony. The Hanged Man. So that was my first card. Well, I was reversed, but this is a lot. It's a good spread. It's nice to find. So some unexpected good fortune for you might be the opportunity to take a bit of a pause, to get. So the Hanged Man for me is new. You get a new perspective, a new outlook on things. So that new perspective might be, that kind of a unexpected good fortune that you're looking for. Ten of Pence. Now we're talking. That is that is what we were talking about when we say unexpected good fortune. That kind of abundance isn't usually unexpected. Yeah, but sometimes it is. Sometimes we don't expect that kind of like, that 10 of Pentacles energy, that culmination of the Earth suit. Sometimes we don't really ever see ourselves getting there. So yeah. And I mean, windfall, the word that's used is windfall, which to me represents pennies coming in, and you've got a card with 10 pennies on it, 10 pentacles, 10 coins. It's like the highest pentacle card. So, Donna, maybe a wee lottery win coming your way. Don't forget your friends here at Elemental Cartomancy. Page of Cups, so not a lottery win then. I don't think I'm getting a lottery win either, Marion, to be fair. Two of Pentacles, maybe I'll find that elusive health-life balance. Maybe. It could be exactly what that's saying. Wheel of Fortune, again, golden. If we're talking about a sudden win here, if we're talking about a wee lottery win, don't forget your friends here. Please come to Florida with me. We shall see. We shall see what happens. I'll need to I said when I did look at it when we talked about it before, Marion. I did look at it, and I kind of said to myself, I'm going to wait and see how I get on at these next two reading events. I'm going to see kind of what happens, because she's an expensive trip, so she is. But it is something I would absolutely love to do. Just don't know if it's going to be this coming one, is all. But we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Rigidity. Off of the Emperor reversed. Emperor reversed might be the chance to break out of the box and set your own. Yeah, I love that, Donna. Yeah. Break the rules. Like, tear up the rule book. Letting go of some structure. Yeah, not having to conform to the same rules as before. Yeah, I love that. I'll take those coins, says Donna. Yeah, we love that, don't we, Tony? Right, the final card, folks, card 7, and it goes across the Hanged one. Right, hang on, I need to turn it over so I know what way it is. Right, I've got my Page of Swords upright. It goes across like that. And the position is the destination, which can only be reached by overcoming everything which came before. So 7 is the destination. The destination. So the Page of Swords for me, the pages are initiates, they're learners, they're coming into something new. So it does, in a way, represent a new beginning. Because it's a swords card, it represents a new mindset, a beginner mindset. But it's like almost like being a student again. It's about learning something new. And that's the destination. Interesting. Not really 100% sure on how I'm interpreting that right now, if I'm honest. But we shall see. So this is the completed spread, by the way, folks. Tony's got death as the destination. Okay, so things coming to an end. We're embracing changes. We are moving into that new place to see what it holds for us. We're being adaptable. Out with the old and in with the new. That's it exactly. Is anyone else still with us and still pulling cards? What could you be meaning, Page of Swords? It has a kind of a youthful exuberance about it, doesn't it? But still, he's still a sword court, so he's still proving himself, and from an intellectual point of view. But it's weird. If I was interpreting this for someone else, I'm biased because it's me, and I know I've got no intention of doing this. But if I was looking at this for someone else, I would be saying that suggests to me that you're kind of going back to school, or not school, but like, you're looking to learn something new. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be a student again. But the bias part of me is like, you're not you're not doing that. We're not doing that. But maybe I need to be open and just receive the message and be open to what it might kind of how it might unfold. Right. I'm not sure what that wee emoji is. Right, it's the Seven of fucking Swords, my least favourite card. Game's a bogey. Seven of Swords, I mean, in the context of dealing with uprights and reversals, if it's reversed, then I think that it delves into that more negative deception energy. I think though, if it's upright, then sometimes the Seven of Swords, it's just about being willing to do what's right for you, regardless of what other people think. People can be really judgmental, and they can see something that you're doing and they can think, oh, what's that all about? What's she doing? Why is she doing that? What right has she got? That kind of thing. But sometimes we kind of just need to think, well, fuck it, I need to do what's right for me, And sometimes that does go against the grain. Sometimes that, it is. I talked about sevens being the kind of a going outside the box, thinking outside the box kind of a card, or going outside your comfort zone. Seven of Swords, it's like finding an alternative, a new, innovative solution to the problem, So it's still got it's still got an air of cunning and deviousness about it, but it's like an unapologetic kind of I'm going to do what's right for me, whether, regardless of what it looks like to you and regardless of what you think, If it was reversed, I would say maybe we're delving in, and this is where you turn around and say, well, actually, yeah, it was reversed. But if it was reversed, I would say maybe we're kind of delving into the more shadow side of the deception. Maybe we need to deal with who it is that's kind of being deceived and stuff. But I definitely think that there's a kind of a positive to be taken from it. I mean, and the thing of the Smithway imagery, what's actually happening there is he's snuck into the enemy encampment and he's taken all their swords away. And sure, like it's an act of stealing, yeah, sure, but that's not the key thing. What's key is he knows that he can't take them head on, so he finds an alternative solution. He goes into the encampment at night when they're sleeping and he disarms them. So he takes the sting out of it. He disarms them. He takes their method of fighting them away. So he finds an unconventional solution to his problem. The Emperor reversed. Also, I don't want to forget about Spirit's 7th card. So Spirit's 7th card was the Two of Cups. So that's a lovely wee destination to find yourself heading towards. Two of Cups. Got to sneeze. Excuse me. So we're kind of building up that connection. We're finding that kind of that love for something. Just I suppose really connecting to something, finding that love for it, finding that enjoyment for it, getting to know it. I mean, it can represent a person. You know, this could be a new person that we're getting to know, platonic or romantic, whatever. In which case you'd be thinking, right, you know, getting to know them, first dates, you know, big long conversations, big long walks, asking questions, you know, having really weird conversations, all that kind of a lovely stuff that we do when we're first getting to know someone. But it doesn't need to be a someone, it can be a something. It's just something that we're really connecting to. So like I say, it's a nice card for the destination. It's a nice place to be going, to be headed. Right, sorry, Donna, let me get back to what you had said. The Emperor reversed, right? So that Emperor reversed. So we're going to go with what we were saying for Tony there, and it's that tearing up of the rule book. It's that, like, you know, we're not doing things the conventional way anymore. We're tearing up the rule book. To hell with the way that it's supposed to be done. We're going to make our own rules. And that's okay. So 5 of Wands. I can hear my old psychologist laughing, saying, "See, because I avoid all conflict," which she used to say could be good too. Okay. So where you're headed is that 5 of Wands. Okay. So 5 of Wands energy, yeah, it can be it's definitely a challenging card. You know, it's that instability with the element of fire. When we think about what that might mean, you know, when fire gets out of control, it can potentially be quite catastrophic. But like, look at that image. Usually what you see is, you know, there are people that are sparring and stuff. It doesn't need to be like a confrontational situation, or like a particularly negative situation. It could be like, you know, competition. Competition can be really healthy and can be really fun and really good for us, you know. It's a good way to build ourselves up. It's a good way to progress, to learn, you know, to further ourselves. So that 5 of Wands energy, it's not always necessarily a bad place to be. So I suppose just remember that. 2 of Cups, golden. So same as Spirit Wing with the 2 of Cups. 7 of Cups for Chris. Okay, so you're headed to that kind of that place of you know, lots of choices, imagining the possibilities, looking to the future, and you know, using your imagination, using your sense of kind of a whimsy, I guess, and just fun, to imagine what the possibilities will be, like where you could be headed. Sometimes with 7 of Cups, we fall into a bit of a trap of, you know, 7 of Cups can be the Netflix card. It can be that, you know, that Netflix where you're overwhelmed with choice, where it's like, oh, I've got all these possibilities, all these things that I could watch. and you end up spending ages scrolling through trying to decide and not able to decide, which can be quite difficult. It can be challenging. So I suppose we just need to kind of I suppose just be aware of that and know when you're getting into that place. I know what this could be, and I'll talk to you about it tomorrow night. Okay. Well, I look forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing you, Marion. I'm looking forward to catching up with you, because it'll be the first time that I've seen you face to face since before the Kickstarter, and it'll be the first time that I've spoke to you since it achieved its goal. For anyone who has been living under a rock for the last few weeks and doesn't know, Marion K. Tarot has a fantastic, beautiful, amazing Kickstarter project that is still live, and you can still go and see and back, and maybe one of my amazing mods could post a link to the Kickstarter in the chat for me. But it is an oracle deck called the Grief Journey Oracle, and it is a deck that is designed to help us through those grief processes that we go through in life. I think that it's something that's not. There are very few decks out there that broach this subject, and even fewer that do it well. So it's going to be a powerful deck. It's going to be an important deck, I think. And I've seen the artwork, and it's absolutely stunning. Terry has done such an amazing job. Oh, look, Chivy's back the deck. Good for you, Chivy. So yeah, like I say, if anyone can pop a wee link in the chat, then there we go. Donna's done it for us. Thank you, Donna. So check it out, folks. Have a wee look at the Kickstarter and see what you think. Consider backing. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Marion. Maybe the Page of Swords reversed. So I've got the Page of Swords upright, if you're talking about mine, Donna, unless someone else got the Page of Swords reversed. Maybe the Page of Swords means you're no longer the student, but moving up to the next level in some respect. Page of Swords, looking back at the past and lessons learned and moving forward with new ideas. Okay, I love that. Right. Chat's just stopped. Is that just because we've gone quiet, or is there something wrong with my chat? Let's see. Oh, no, we're good. The chat's still moving. So mine says, thank you all. I've got some of the originals today. Oh, very nice. Can we ask what originals you've got? Right, folks. Thus concludeth the spread. What I often like to do when I'm reading for folks, so this is a Dawning Virtue deck. Not everyone likes these decks. Not everyone likes that pair. Well, I don't really have much time for that person. I think she's a bit of a cow the way that she's acted, the way that she's. Anyway, we're not getting into all that. The reason I like this deck is because it's good to just maybe pull a wee card from, to summarize, to clarify. But I like it because it's got this explanation of the card on it. It's got a wee description. So it's fine for us. We all read cards, but not everyone who comes to me for a reading does that. So it's nice for them to actually see it and be able to kind of almost interpret the card for themselves. So here it says, the 10 of Fire, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. Right, okay. Well, thanks for that. But maybe that just kind of hammers home that this whole thing is about work. for me. It's a fire card that's talking about work. Maybe it's just saying, quite often it's helpful to pinpoint what a spread is talking about, because sometimes people will just say, "Oh, I just want to see what comes up. I just a general for me, please." And as much as I can kind of interpret a spread, it can be sometimes difficult to know what it's talking about. So again, clarifier decks like this can be handy for that, because they can sometimes steer you in the direction of what it's actually talking about. Okay. Oh, so Marion has got freedom, and I know you would have Clive, ancestors, guardian, and siblings. You're very welcome, Golden. It's been beyond fantastic catching you live again, Chris, and wonderful chatting with everyone. Sending big love to you all. Sending big love to you, Jen. I hope you and Carl and Chloe and Dean, and I hope that I know that you're there with your sister as well. You're on holiday with. I hope everyone's doing amazing, and sending you lots of love. And with that, I think, folks, oh gosh, it's 25 to 12. We've been going for 2.5 hours, just over. So yeah, I think we should maybe leave it there, call it an evening. But thanks so much for being here. I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. This was such a good spread to do. Such great fun. I'm glad that we did it. I should probably leave that there and take a picture and post it. So if you've pulled cards, then post your spreads on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever you happen to be, and let me see them. But thanks, folks. Have an amazing weekend. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you all later. Bye-bye.